This is episode 81, I believe. I am off the grid at the moment. I'm gonna try to show you guys a little bit. I love showing you guys the environment. Kind of in the middle of the rice fields, away from the Canggu area a little bit. Not making any content, but I feel like if I just make this on my phone, it's not really making content, so I can do that. But I was reading through the comments, and I was reading through the comments, and one of the more popular comments that I get, and probably more so in the emails and DMs, is, Luke, I don't know what to do. What should I do next? I really want to do this, but I'm not sure about this. There's a lot of uncertainty. And as you guys know, I first of all, I love coaching you all. Some of you guys who are my clients. If you don't have to leave it in the comments. If you're one of my clients, just say hi in the comments maybe, so I can know you're here. And one of the questions that I asked them, and this is something we do very early on in the beginning. Oh, let me show you the view. This is where I am. By the way, little mini waterfalls down here. My little getaway place. The question that I asked them, and I'll ask this to you right now, is what do you want? What do you want? Some of you are like, I really want to move to Bali. I really want to do this. I really want to travel. But what is it that you truly want? You don't want to just travel. You don't want to just make YouTube videos of you traveling. There's a feeling that you're searching for. There's a certain feeling. I want you to think about that. What's the feeling that you want to have with this thing you want? So think about what you want. Maybe come to Bali. Now, what's the feeling that you want to have when you come here? Some of you probably thinking happiness, peace, maybe seeing rice fields. Because I want to point out that so many times we think we want to travel, so we do everything to travel, but then once you start traveling for a long time, I've been traveling like 2 years now. Now it's if I would only been searching for travel, I'd be pretty bored by now. Not that traveling gets old, it doesn't get old for me, but what I get from traveling is I get to meet people. I get to be inspired, I get to inspire other people. Now with what I do, with you guys who contribute to my channel, you guys who help me, who send me ideas of places to go, videos to film, I get to use that to then bring back to everyone to share with them. You guys know this past year I've went to probably every Tony Robbins event for the last 8 months. Much thank you, and a huge thank you to you all for having me in a position where I'm able to do that. Because that allows me, I love going out and exploring and bringing it back and sharing it with people. That's what I want. And I think so many times when we don't know what we want, we just think that it'll be better if we're in another place. We kind of think it'll be better if I just quit my job. Well, what do you want, first of all? And I feel like once you start to answer this question, maybe you've never asked yourself this question. And if you're new around here, and like I say, this is something I speak to all my clients, especially my overthinkers out there, is when you think about it, your thoughts, okay? Your thoughts are only questions. That's it. That's it. That's all thoughts are. They're just questions. And if you're like, is it true, Luke? You're asking yourself a question. Wait, maybe this is right. Is it? That's another question. So what happens is when you start to ask yourself a different question, you start to think different. And when you start to think different, you start to do something different. You start to take a different action. And when you start to take a different action, you get a different result. So one of the things that I'm always challenging myself with is coming up with better questions, coming up with new questions, coming up with questions that make me look in a different place, search within myself. Because if you ask yourself, I don't know, where do I want to go right now? Well, that could be a lot of places. But if you ask yourself, what do you want? If you want peace, then, right here kind of solves that problem. A lot of peace, quiet. There's coconuts up on the tree. Rice fields waiting to be harvested. And by the way, there was someone up there dropping coconuts down to us the last time we were here. But when you think about what you want, you'll realize that what you want, that need can be fulfilled so many different ways. And one of the things that kind of make me sad is for so many guys who are like, I just can't wait to come to Bali and get out of this mess. This is kind of what people say. But I always look at them and I just say, remember, the questions that you're asking yourself where you are right now, the questions are still going to be the same. And the thing that I never want to happen to any of you out there is for you to ask yourself, like, what's next for me in life? What's next? And this is the question and you think going to a different place is going to answer that question. One of the things I tell people is like, you want to come to Bali, if all you ask yourself is what's next, trust me, if you've never been to Bali, it's going to be even harder to imagine this. But after 3 days here in Bali, on the beach, with a coconut, in this heat, guess what question you're going to have pop up in your mind? What's next? Because it's a way of thinking. So one of the things that's super important is that I hope that all of you here, and I know this is more like what I put in the podcast or I give to you guys who do individual calls with me, is that you guys understand that changing that question, like, what do I want? By asking yourself that all the time. Me, what do I want? What do I want today? You know, I helped a lady the other day, and she was trying to figure out what to do. We'd had a little mini coaching session, and you know, she's trying to figure out, we were about to leave the place, about to pay. And then she said, Luke, you know, like, I don't know, what do I want to do today? And I was just like, no, wrong question. That your mind opens up. You can want to do anything today. And I said, what if we change the question? What's a better question? She's like, I don't know, maybe what I want to accomplish today? I said, that's okay. That's not bad. Different question, but you kind of look the same direction. So I gave her another question. And I give this question to you. You can ask yourself this today and watch how it starts to make you think differently. So how does it feel if I say, what do you want to do today? Your brain searches for like, what do I want to do? I can do 1,000 things. Now, what if I change the question for you? And this is the question I ask myself this. I ask myself this question most days. How do you want to remember today? How do you want to remember today? Now, with that question, you could ask yourself that about a lot of things. How do you want to remember this week? How do you want to remember this tough situation that you're in right now? I know so many of you guys are going through so much. I go through things all the time. We're going through something yesterday. But how do you want to remember that situation? As you letting it getting the best of you and you being irritated and frustrated? Or do you want to remember it as a time that you kind of stepped up, surprised yourself? You became something that you didn't think you'd have to be or could be, but you have to become it to get through what it is that you went through. Because sometimes we get caught this famous two words that I really don't like using so much is how. Because how kind of just kills dreams very early on. How. This is like, it's like, what if you switch the how to who? I'm explaining. And do. What do I have to do? What if the question was just like, who do you have to be? So if you wanted to lose some weight, let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. If I were to say, hey, I want you to lose 10 pounds. Maybe the thought that comes to your mind is like, how? How am I going to lose 10 pounds? Or what do I have to do to lose 10 pounds? What if you change the questions like, who do I have to become to lose 10 pounds? That's 5 kilos for my Europeans out there. Everyone other than Americans. Who do you have to become? What beliefs would you have to change? What things would you have to start saying to yourself? Like, what's a question you could start to ask to yourself that would make it different for you? What if you started to ask yourself instead, what would be a fun way to lose 10 pounds? Now you stop linking it to pain, you start linking it to pleasure. Like, what's a fun way I want to lose 10 pounds? Now your brain starts to look in a different direction, different place. So I hope that, on a day like today, as I'm just kind of away from people today. Well, not everyone, Dana and Luna are here. But I just wanted to make you think a little bit different. I love making entertaining videos, and I love making videos to inspire you guys and to travel and do all that kind of stuff. But I know if I can inspire you to change the way you think, that'll change what you do. And as you ask yourself different questions, you start to do different actions. And as you start to take different actions, you start to get different results. And as you start to get different results, that's when life changes. Now, like I say, it's my off day. Not filming, not doing anything today. But I want to bring you guys along a little bit on this little journey. A little bit away, but I don't know. My goal is to empower. And when I'm not doing it, doesn't matter how much money I have, doesn't matter where I am, doesn't matter who I'm with. If I'm not empowering other people around, I just don't feel fulfilled. Because I want to empower everyone. That's what I want. Because once you know what you want, you'll realize the activity to be able to do it. There's many 1,000 ways you can get what you want. But most of the time we just try different things over and over again without knowing what we want. Then we get frustrated. Then we get irritated. Then we start to link pain to what we want and what we're doing. And you can understand how this could turn out to be pretty bad. So we're going to end on a good note though. Bali should be opening soon. I've loved the calls I've done with you guys on coming to Bali. You guys interested in coming to Bali, I can help you guys out. Send me an email or an Instagram message for you guys who are serious about coming to Bali. And we can definitely talk. And on that note, here in Bali, little cow in there. Super quiet, super chill. Going back to a little off the grid location. And I'll speak to you guys all later. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys so much for your comments. You all who are always first in the comments. I forgot to say, guys, keep it up. I love it. And I'll speak to all of you all later. And actually, I got to come up with a quote because I'm just posting this just like this. What would be a quote for you today? If I have a quote for you, I would say, give me a second. You guys look around at the views while I think of a quote. A good quote for today. We're just going to walk around. So I'm going to come up with a good quote. I have a quote in my mind, but I want to come up with a better one. Guys, a little bit. Look at that. Like an old coconut. We're going to walk around until I can think of a good quote. I had one in my mind as well. I can't really think of a great one on the spot, but I have one that's very simple. What you appreciate appreciates. Basically, like where your focus goes, your energy goes, your focus goes, or your focus goes, your energy flows. And if you can put it on things that are amazing, you start to really appreciate. Maybe these quotes are even better because I get to explain the quote. If you can appreciate things, it appreciates in value, meaning that it grows even more. So when you can appreciate where you are, who you are, the people you're with, the money you have, the things in your life, when you can appreciate it, it grows. That'd be the quote. So in the meantime, guys, thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. I'll speak to you all later. And in the meantime, everyone always remember to work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile. Ciao.